Hello and welcome back to my channel. My name is Dewayne. I got a video for that Kimble, United States Army veteran and retired VA rating specialist. The VA had a memo leaked that discusses eliminating 80,000 positions. Now, we don't know what those positions are, but I found an article written by the New York Times that breaks this memo down. So in today's video, I am going to share that article and give you my commentary as a former RVSR. But here's the nugget or bonus. I'm going to talk about what veterans and some VA employees can do if their job or position is cut in this 80,000 dismissal. Make sure you stick around. Before we get into today's video, make sure to get signed up for one of our two memberships. The first membership is a YouTube membership. You can click the link join right underneath this video and join our YouTube monthly membership. Also, we have a monthly veteran membership outside of YouTube. Make sure you click the link in the description section. And before you check out, put in code KMD50, Kilo Mike Delta 50, to get your first month 50% off. Now, let's get into this article. The New York Times has written an article. Other media outlets has written articles about the VA's plans to cut an additional 80,000 employees. But before I share this article, they did not mention which positions. Now, the VA is huge. There are three entities within the VA: NCA, National Cemetery Administration; VHA, Veterans Healthcare Administration; and VBA, Veterans Benefit Administration. Part of VBA, Veterans Benefit Administration, is the compensation piece. That's what I talk about only. No other departments. Now, I may do some videos about some things that may come out that I think will help veterans in some of those other departments, but my main focus is VBA, Veterans Benefit Administration, the compensation piece, okay? So let's go ahead and get into this article. So this is the VA's article, not the VA, well, it's the VA's article, but it's written by the New York Times, okay? And it's titled, Veterans Affairs Department Plans to Eliminate More Than 80,000 Workers. Now, this has not been implemented yet, okay? The cuts would be a major escalation of the downsizing that has already occurred at the department, which provides health care and many other services to veterans, okay? We know that, all right? Let's keep going. A memo is calling for the workforce at the Department of Veterans Affairs to be reduced by more than 80,000 people. That is a lot of people and veterans. Guess what? If that happens, we will all feel the pinch, okay? Now, before I go any further, there was nothing in this article that talked about cutting health care benefits, meaning, you know, you're no longer going to be able to get dental. The VA is no longer going to provide dental, nothing like that, okay? And it didn't talk about cutting veterans' monthly compensation. They're just talking about workers, positions, okay? But if they cut half of this 80,000 or all, we will feel the pinch somewhere, okay? Let's keep going. The Department of Veterans Affairs is planning to reduce its workforce by more than 80,000 people, according to a memo seen by the New York Times, okay? The memo, first reported by the trade publication Government Executive, calls for the department's workforce to go from more than 482,000 workers as of late last year to 399,000, basically 400,000, okay? Some of those cuts will be made by offering early retirement or severance payments, but earlier efforts to entice employees to quit their jobs voluntarily fell far short. Okay, so they're talking about the fork in the road. Now, when I worked in the private sector for companies and they were downsizing, they did an early retirement, they did a severance payments before they just start making cuts to try to get to those numbers. You have to think about it. Is there 80,000 people close to retirement? Are there 80,000 people that would be willing to take a severance? So let's just say if they get 10,000 for early retirement and 5,000 or another 15,000 for severance payments, that's 30,000. They're still falling short 50,000. Okay, that's still a lot of employees. Let's keep going. Doug Collins, the Secretary of Veterans Affairs, released a video statement on Wednesday announcing the cut, saying, as he has previously, the healthcare services and benefits will not be cut under the Trump administration, and that 300,000 positions at the department had been labeled mission critical. I want to know what positions are mission critical. Now, as it pertains to compensation under VBA, VSR, Veteran Service Representatives, RVSRs, rating Veteran Service Representatives, and decision review officers. They're at the high level review level, okay? Are those three positions considered mission critical? I would think VSRs and RVSRs, but I'm unsure about the DROs. I never worked in appeals. I worked alongside of them, but I don't know if that position will be mission critical. If any of those three positions are not considered mission critical, you will see an impact if any of those jobs are cut. You think the wait times are long now? They're going to go, the wait time is going to go back to the Stone Ages, like 05, 06, 07, all the way up to 09, where it was basically taking the VA anywhere between 12 to 18 months just to produce a rating condition for one or two issues. Wait times for CMP exams back then was probably a year. Okay? If they cut any of those positions, look for those wait times to increase. Also, I didn't see anything about cutting monthly compensation benefits. Okay? Let's keep going. If that mission critical designation remains, the cuts will have to come from a pool of about 182,000 workers, eliminating more than 40% of the non-critical workforce at the department. Under compensation VBA, there are some support functions, okay? For example, you have VSRs in other roles, call center, public contact. Let's see, where else are some of those positions, okay? Those are just a couple I could think of. You have individuals in IT that keeps up the programs and the computers that VSRs, RVSRs, and DROs use. Finance, okay? There are support functions for the compensation piece, okay? Don't know if those positions are mission critical or non-critical, all right? There are many people complaining about the changes we're making at the VA, Mr. Collins said, but what most of them are really saying is let's just keep doing the same thing that the VA has always done. Now, I'll split with this comment because I don't really know where he's coming from, but I will say this. The VA does need to be overhauled. Some changes have to be made. I'm not saying I'm in agreement with cutting all positions. Are there some positions that could be cut? Yes, there always is in any organization, okay? When I worked in the private sector, we had to figure out how to do more with less. Will the VA be able to do that? Time will tell, okay? But there are some huge contracts at the VA that I haven't heard the secretary talk about. Those third-party CMP exam contracts, they are in the billions, okay? Billions. Can they cut that? I believe they can. They just have to do it, okay? So I'm going to leave the link to this article in the description section, okay? I'm not going to play the VA secretary's video here. When you go out and you look at that article, you can go ahead and decide for yourself what your opinion is on this, okay? So again, this article, the link to this article will be put in the description section for you, all right? Okay, so there's a lot to unpack here, okay? I felt that there would be more cuts coming after the first two cuts. I didn't think it was going to be, they playing like 80,000 people. That is a lot. But what can VA employees do and veterans do? Okay, so one, keep in mind, before I even get into this, this is just my opinion, okay? If you're a VA employee or a veteran, you have to do what's best for you, but I'm just going to provide my opinion. Okay, if you are a VA employee and you don't have the Star Right insurance, you are wrong on every level. I had it when I was an RVSR. I didn't have to use it. It was a minimal fee, like $250, and they actually gave me a $50 gift card for signing up. I don't know what the price is now, but you will have to go and Google Star Right, S-T-A-R Right. All right, and when that come up, Star Right Federal Insurance and Federal Employee Insurance, okay? Give them a call and say, hey, the VA is proposing to cut 80,000 positions. I don't know if my job or position is mission critical or non-mission critical, but if I purchase this insurance, what does it mean for me if my position gets eliminated? Short term and long term, you need to have a discussion with those individuals, okay? Because possibly, let's just say your job gets cut and they say we can sue, but anytime you sue the federal government, it takes a long time. So you may be out of work the next 3.5 years, but you have somebody to fight on your behalf and you may not have to come out of pocket. Again, you have to ask those individuals. So once this administration is gone and they start rehiring people, you may be the first in line. I don't know. Make sure you make that phone call and ask. Okay, now for veterans. I did a video back in December and I was talking about, hey, what can you do right now for the proposed changes that was supposed to go into effect April 2025, okay, a month from now, next month, as it pertains to sleep apnea, tinnitus, and the general rating criteria for mental conditions. And I was basically talking about in the video, you have to act right now. Guess what? If you're thinking about filing a claim, you need to react right now. Doing an intent to file, okay? Mental health, if you're thinking about filing a claim for PTSD or major depressive disorder, secondary to service-connected conditions, whatever, you have to act right now. Do an intent to file. Start getting treatment if you already hadn't. Maybe every week, once a week, or bi-weekly. Get 3 or 4 visits in. Build that paper trail, okay? And you can do this for whatever condition you're claiming, but now you're a little bit rushed. You're behind the 8 ball because if those 80,000 cuts, if they actually happen and they start cutting VSRs, RVSRs, and droves, like I stated earlier, the wait times are going to increase. Therefore, I would want to have my claim on the books. If you're lucky, you can get a C&P exam, or if you know someone that could complete a DBQ and Nexus statement, we have a couple of our sponsors. Their contact information is in the description section as well. I would rather have my claim on the books now, just in case these cuts happen. Because again, if they start cutting VSRs, droves, RVSRs, these are the individuals doing the work, the rating decisions, the high-level review, informal conferences, the request for C&P exams, okay? You want your claim on the books, get in and get out as soon as you can, all right? I hope that the wait times are not impacted, but we don't know where any of this is going right now. So what you need to do, you need to stay ready so you don't have to get ready. With that being said, make sure you like, subscribe, hit that notification button, and as always, share this video with your fellow veterans. Thank you.